Hello, everybody. Hello, Star Seeds. It's been a minute. There's been a lot going on in life. We're just pulling this off how we look after working out in the garden and having some fun in the dirt. And that's what we're going to do. But we're talking about past lives today, you guys. How to recognize if you've had them. Everybody's had them, by the way. So we're just going to go through a little bit of that information so you can tell. So, first one is probably the one that people experience the most. Have you ever felt like you've known somebody from the moment you met them? You've known them for 1,000 years, 1 billion years, you know everything about them. It was like, bam. It could have been a friend, it could have been romance, it could have been with a family member, it could have been with a stranger. So that is your first sign. So that sensation is very strong and you're experiencing something very familiar to you. So you need to pay attention to that. Um, these moments are definitely clear that your energy and your soul has lived other lives. So don't ignore that sensation. Um, your energy is simply continually to continue its long journey through time, carrying your memories with it, carrying your experiences, carrying the things that you learned from other lives, from universal lives, from earthly lives. It's carrying both. So, 9 signs that indicate you've lived before and what it reveals about your purpose and your path in this life is very important. I work with clients on constant basis getting their Akashic records read so that they know their story and they know what their purpose is on this earth and they know why they're here and how they're expected to heal it because the earth is not meant to be destroyed. The earth is going to survive. It's going to just look very, very different. And people need to get used to that realization as well. So the first sign is very persistent feeling from childhood, like a strange sense of being displaced, as if you don't belong to this time or this place that you are in right now. They find it very difficult to deal with this 3D world, the violence of it, the anger of it, all the wars, all of the nasty things that happen here. I am one of those people. I have an extremely hard time living on Earth, not because of Earth, but because of humans and what they have done to the Earth. So you feel surrounded by values and behaviors that seem very strange or disconnected, like those old sayings, your goals in life should be to grow up, get married, have kids, have the house, have all the things, go to work from 9 to 5, slave yourself away for somebody else and somebody else's dreams and make them rich. Like none of that ever sat with me. Even as a child, I was like, this is stupid. Why are we doing this? Why are we living our lives like this? So there's the first sign besides you run into somebody and you know them. Um, But stage 1, this can also happen because the energy has already experienced other times, other cultures, and ways of living for before you reincarnated here. So you still have those memories of those times and those places and where you have been. So it's important to distinguish between the two. Is your energy, which is the memory of your entire body? Yes, your brain retains knowledge and things like that, but your energy, your soul, whatever you want to call it, that is what contains all the information of all the things that you've learned. Okay, so the second one is having fears and phobias that you just have no rational explanation for. Like my mother was so frightened by spiders. She couldn't even be around Halloween spiders. They weren't even real. So I've had phobias and fears. I used to be afraid of bees. I don't like snakes. I know where that one comes from though, because I grew up in West Virginia with poisonous snakes and it was like ingrained to us. Don't go near snakes, even if they're dead, they can still bite you. The bees thing, I don't know where that came from, but I have made my peace with the bees and I actually go hang out with the bees and I'm totally fine with the bees now. Because I kind of just realized this is obnoxious and it doesn't really have a place here. So let's boot it out of here because bees are very beneficial. They're beautiful. And if you're sitting in the middle of a bunch of them and hear their sound, their hums, their buzzing, it is a frequency and it instantly calms you and grounds you and makes you feel euphoric. So just don't piss the bees off and you'll be fine. But um, fears of water, fears of heights, fires, certain animals that you've never really come in contact before in this life, um, even without experiencing any trauma with whatever you're afraid of. Like you're just afraid of it. So you're expressing unconscious memories of traumatic events from other existences. That's why you're afraid. So you need to dig deep and figure out what that fear is, where it came from, meditate on it, whatever you have to do, and get rid of it because it doesn't have any purpose in your life. You shouldn't be afraid of things that you have no reason to be afraid of. Um, the next one, people can have a great ease in learning specific skills, such as playing instruments, speaking languages, certain professions that people pick up. Um, you're just drawn to it. Like you've done it a gazillion times before. And that is very true. A lot of people pick their professions based on this past life experience. So pay attention to that. What are you interested in as far as a career? What do you want to do with your life? And how do you want to do it? That is part of past lives. Another really powerful clue is what we call recurring dreams. Many report having the same dream for years, sometimes decades. Um, with scenarios, clothes, languages, landscapes, um, that they don't consciously recognize in this life. Like it's not of this time, but you are having dreams about them. So these type of dreams are called fragments of past lives that emerge when your mind relaxes. So you're in a deep state of sleep. Your subconscious is working. Um, It also may be a reminder of a journey your energy has already taken. Some people feel deeply attracted to ancient civilizations. I'm a total history nerd, freak. Put me in front of documentaries, history books, it doesn't matter. All day, every day, I love history. But even if you don't, there is something in history that attracts you. Whatever that is, you have had a past life in it. So even if history is definitely one of those subjects, either you love it or you hate it. I happen to love it. If you hate it, but you're still interested in some form of history, you have had a past life there. That is like almost guaranteed. Bam. So study that place. Find out why you're fascinated by it. Even if it's a military type history, find out why you have served in the military somewhere along your energy's existence. Dig into that history. Find out what is there and why you lived there. What was your life there? You can get your Akashic records read, and I can tell you right away what your life was there. Another one is deja vu. That is a huge one. This one, your time is not linear. It's not past, present, future. Time is like this. It is flowing in and out together all the time. I am in this body, in this life, right at this second, at this moment on this camera. But I have other lives that are out there functioning as well. And when I have deja vu, I have found that I am bumping into future lives or bumping back into past lives. So I'm bumping into myself. And at present time, I'm spread about 8 lives apart that I'm experiencing all of them kind of all at one time. Can be very hectic, very hard to keep your mind calm when those things are going on. So I always find it best to tell the universe, like, I'm getting too much information, like, slow down, pump the brakes here. This isn't working well for me. Um, so everybody's experienced deja vu in some way. Some just, it's a lot stronger, a lot deeper than other people. So you've definitely already lived that situation, or you're bumping into your future self one way or another. So your energy recognizes patterns and it activates this type of sudden memory. So it's not an illusion, but it's a cross over time for those lives. Um, it can bring comfort, but it can bring discomfort depending on the content of that memory. How often it happens can be a sign that your energy is trying to remind you of your other lives. Um, you can also have like striking encounters with strangers, um, like immediate bonds of affection or rejection without any logical explanation. That's considered in the deja vu category as well. So these encounters are reunions. You either had a good life with this person in the past or a very bad one way or the other. Um, but the bonds that are formed in our past lives continue to repeat themselves. So that's another reason you need to dig into yourself, dig deep, find out why you do the things the way that you do, why you are the way that you are, why you're afraid of the things you're afraid of, what isn't working in your life, why can't you get it to work in your life. There's something there that needs to be cleared. And a lot of times it's a past life dealing. People also have a lot of difficulty accepting rules. I'm an indigo child. I was born in the 70s. Our generation was meant to take those rules. Us Generation Xers, we are meant to take those rules and stick them right up your. We don't like them. We don't want to be ruled by them. We don't want to be told what to do. We want to live our lives the way that we want to live our lives. And it's just ingrained in us. But there are also other people that rules that are imposed, they can't just follow them without question. They're like, "What and why is this happening? And let's dig into this." Um, Especially in a spiritual field type of rules like religion, things like that, you will rebel against that immediately if you've had any kind of past lives dealing with religion in a negative way. And let's face it, religion, as far as history goes, does not have good history. It was crappy to women. It slaughtered people all around the world in the name of one god or another. And then the Europeans took that and moved over to the Americas and slaughtered a whole bunch of people here and told them, you're going to be Christians. So religion does not have a real good history. So if you have a history within religion in a past life, it probably wasn't good. Um, there are those that are going throughout their lives that feel a strong calling to help others, but not out of obligation, not of a need that you want the notoriety for it. Empaths have this burning strong within them. I'm one of the strongest empaths I've ever met. It burns strong within us, and so you have to learn to put up boundaries because you will be taken advantage of, and you are a magnet for narcissists and sociopaths and people like that. for very selfish people. You are a magnet for them because they hate themselves and you are filled with love and compassion. And when they get with you, they will suck you dry until you no longer remember who you are. Do not let that happen to you, please, everybody, as an empath. Um, so, we're also not talking about the willingness to serve from ego or for money. It's like you're the person in the background that will help anybody for anything. You don't expect praise for it. You don't expect anybody to even know about it. You're just doing it because that's the right thing to do. And people also experience deep emotional blockages with no apparent cause, pains that seem to have no origin, guilt without a visible reason, or sadness that didn't come from any specific event. These kinds of things. These are emotional states that are often confused with psychological issues. People get diagnosed a lot in this world with some kind of psychological, and most of the time it's bipolar, and not telling anybody how to live their life. But you don't just take a doctor's word for something that you have and then get take the pills that they give you. That's the system, and it's poisoning everybody. So, if you get a diagnosis like that, please go get multiple diagnosis. Do not tell what the other doctor said. Just act like you are a new patient trying to find out what's wrong with you and see what they say. And then go to the next one and the next one. Don't just accept that you have a mental illness. Even ADHD is caused by a lot of past life things. These people are literally seeing, like, I can see through a lot of dimensions all at one time when I focus on it, but I can turn it off. They can't turn it off. They are being bombarded with things constantly, and it's a past life thing. And they're pretty much little alien beings just living in human bodies, traveling here and there and going here and there with their mind, teleporting everywhere, astral projecting, all kinds of things. And last one, people that have a clear life mission. You have known since the day you were a child, this is what I want to do. Um, this is who I am. You know, deep down that you're here for a greater reason. Um, it doesn't happen instantly for some people. Like, I had a very traumatic childhood, not a real great adulthood either. Took me a long time to find myself and what I was supposed to be doing. Did I know I always had these gifts? Yes. Did I know what I was supposed to do with them? No. So it doesn't always happen like this for people, but you know that this certainly came from your energy. Your greater purpose is burning inside of your energy. You already made agreements before reincarnating to come here. Each energy, according to their choice, makes a new soul contract for every life that you live, whether it's an earthly life or not. You make a soul contract. You go through it, you see what life experiences you're going to have. You say, yes, I'm willing to deal with this. Yes, I'm willing to go there. Yes, I'm willing to take this life. Universal beings very rarely accept lives on Earth. They know how hard it is. And I have a lot of alien DNA in me. It's another reason this earth is so hard for me because I remember my other lives and I remember how it was there. And I know how it is here is not right. And it's not the way that things should be at all. Money, greed, fossil fuels, bad air, bad water, polluted land, all of this, wars, none of this happened in any of the universal lives that I lived. There were some wars that happened in the universe and displaced some different races of beings, and they went and made bioships. But anyway, once you come in contact with this in your energy field and you know what you're supposed to do on this life, there's nothing that's going to stop you from doing that. You know that that's what you're supposed to be doing and you're going to do it and nobody's going to stop you. So that's definitely a past life. Um, I'm a good healer. I am an energy healer. I can remote view, I can astral project. I have all the clairsenses. I can see through the dimensions. I can see any kind of being ever that's been in existence. And because I've opened myself to that, because I realized who I am. And so I went down that path and I opened myself up to that to experience it. So the more you go on this journey and the more that you dig into these things, the more you'll get to know about yourself. And that is a good indication of how you can change your life around, what you should be doing, what you need in your life, and to be able to get those needs met in your life. Meditation is always a good practice. If you want to go through this and start to learn more about yourself, get your astrology chart read because it's important to know for this life because that's a part of your soul contract. If you want your Akashic records read, you want your soul contract read, I can do that. I do it all the time for people. And it comes with a really nice PDF with links to videos that you can study. So it's not just me rambling a bunch of information off to somebody in a video form like this. Yes, I am talking to people, but I take the time to put all of the information into a really nice format so that you can study it. Akashic records are meant to be studied, and they're also not like that's the end, I got them all. They continue. You keep getting more and more pieces of your puzzle. And you can start to do this yourself the more you get into these practices. So let's teach everybody. Let's get on reading Akashic records. Let's get your story so that you know what you're supposed to do. And stay happy, everybody. I know the world is going through a very chaotic time, but this is also what's meant to happen because the world is splitting. It's kind of like you have that old way of doing things with the oligarchs and the money and the greed and the war and all of those horrible things that they do. And then you have the rest of us that are like, we don't want this crap anymore. We don't want people being deported. We don't want your stupid war. We don't want your stupid taxes. We don't want the rich to get richer and everybody else to get poorer. Like, we're sick of this. And so there's a big divide happening. But just remember that the world is not going to be destroyed. It will be destroyed in the form that it is now. It will not be functioning the way that it is now. And we have a lot of help that is making sure that the earth survives. So everybody stay positive, love each other, give other people out there love, even if you don't know them, give them a general hi, be friendly, start to connect with each other again. It's really important, you guys. So love out there to everybody. Message me for any comments or questions that you might have that you need answered, and I will be sure to get back to you on those.